And in sport, West Indies captain says the upcoming ODIs will build team confidence leading up to the World Cup. I'm Nicole Best, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, April 26th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
We have a small firm out here in Cedartown, Georgia. We do a lot of trial work. We consider ourselves to be a small town firm that represents people in any manner of problems they might have in their lives. We've been here going back through my father's days and practicing here 55 years or more. We handle a lot of personal injury.
Has anything changed for you and your community since Trump took office?
Oh, definitely. I come from an immigrant family and also people that are DACA recipients. And, you know, recently with the DACA attack and just since Trump took office, all of the ICE raids that have been happening, I mean, my family is scared. They're living in the shadows, as well as like 12 million immigrants in this country.
Barbadians will vote for a new government in 4 weeks. Just over 1 month after the automatic dissolution of Parliament, Prime Minister Freundel Stuart has announced May 24th as election day, with nomination day set for May 7th. He said this morning that he has officially notified Governor General Dame Sandra Mason. Stuart and his Democratic Labour Party had come under fire for the delay in announcing the election. This is the first time in the political history of Barbados that the Parliament was allowed to die a natural death before an election date was set. Leader of the opposition Barbados Labour Party, Mia Mottley, had made repeated calls for the Prime Minister to call the election. She recently issued an open letter to Stuart stating that the country was crumbling and grinding to a halt because of the delay in calling the elections. There are over 10 political parties in Barbados, the dominant ones being the ruling Democratic Labour Party and the Barbados Labour Party. Over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the manager of the local radio station Nice Radio, Douglas De Freitas, has apologized to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves for comments a caller made to the station last month as Gonsalves threatened a lawsuit. De Freitas says he wants to apologize to Gonsalves even though he hasn't spoken to his lawyers on the matter. His apology came less than 24 hours after the Prime Minister threatened to pursue legal action. He says he would be writing the Prime Minister an apology and hope that he accepts it. Gonsalves, speaking Tuesday night on Star Radio, which is owned by his Unity Labour Party, said he had sent the recording and a transcript to his lawyers. A person residing in North America reportedly made the call during the news time, that the daily mid-morning program of the main opposition New Democratic Party. De Freitas, who is a cousin of the Prime Minister, said he was very disturbed and very upset about the development, noting that it occurred when he was overseas for medical attention. De Freitas said that the caller had spoken about a matter that had surfaced on social media. De Freitas expressed frustration with the attitude of some members of the Vincentian diaspora who apparently ignore the difference in defamation laws in North America and St. Vincent. Nice Radio, which has paid an estimated 200,000 EC dollars in damages, has repeatedly been sued by Prime Minister Gonsalves in the past. The Venezuelan parliament wants answers about Trinidad and Tobago's deportation of 82 of its nationals last weekend. CNC3's Kamal Georges has that story.
2 days after 82 of its nationals were returned home, the Venezuelan parliament wants answers. Several South American news outlets have reported that the legislature, which is controlled by the opposition, will seek explanations from this country about the repatriation of citizens. According to one of the articles, the opposition's deputy Carlos Valero states their intention to request from the embassy in Caracas a formal meeting with the government of this country. The move to repatriate the citizens has been criticized by the United Nations Agency for Refugees, Amnesty International, and others. The Trinidad and Tobago government has indicated that all nationals returned voluntarily, even those who had sought asylum, something local human rights organizations challenged. Valero criticized Venezuela's ambassador to this country, Coromoto Godoy, saying she coordinated and directed the operation against Venezuelans something he says cannot go unpunished. He asked the international community for solidarity and consideration.
Stay with us. Your midday sport is next. West Indies captain Jason Holder has underscored the importance of the several one-day series leading up to next year's World Cup in England. He says it's vital for the Caribbean side to use them to gain confidence, momentum and a settled lineup for the global showpiece. In preparation for the May 30th to July 14th event in England and Wales, the Windies will play home and away ODI series against Bangladesh later this year and tour India for another 5 matches before hosting England early next year. While the Windies' participation in the qualifying tournament, which involves the likes of Nepal, Hong Kong and Papua New Guinea, was widely regarded as somewhat belittling for the 2-time former World Cup winners, Holder said it had been a blessing in disguise. He said, and I quote, "Playing in the World Cup qualifiers was not all bad in a way. I think it was an opportunity to come together as a side, get some wins under our belt, play some of the associate nations and some of the nations which qualified as full member nations." End of quote. The Caribbean side missed out on automatic qualification but secured one of the 2 spots up for grabs by finishing second in a 10-team qualifying tournament in Zimbabwe last month. Trinidad and Tobago's senior women's football squad handed Suriname a 7-0 drubbing last night as action in the CFU Women's Challenge continued at the Otto Boldon Stadium in Couva. It was the Twin Island Republic's first match in the tournament and head coach Jamal Shabazz credited his team for their good performance.
Well, I don't think it was a very strong Suriname team, though they gave a lot of room on the sides of the field. We made use of it early in the game, but the worrisome thing is when we took off 3 of the veteran players, Tasha St-Louis, Karen Forbes and Ayana Russell, I think we lost our way a bit, and this is a worrying thing, when we look at the depth that we're trying to create in the team. All in all, pleased that we scored 7 goals today, but far from making cartwheels and jumping for joy.
Shabazz says while he is happy with the results, he expects a much better showing from his opponents.
2014 is still, within the squad, especially the veteran players, because really, we've seen stronger Suriname teams, and I for one expected a lot more from them, and I thought that we could have gotten a couple more in the back of the net as well.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Have yourselves a good afternoon.